In April 2002, the annual Laughlin River Run motorcycle rally was set to explode into an all-out war between bitter rivals, the infamous Hells Angels and Mongols motorcycle clubs, who arrived ready to settle scores in the neon-bathed casinos along the Colorado River. How did this normally sleepy resort explode into chaos between two of America's most violent biker gangs? What drove these bitter rivals to war in the most unlikely of arenas? Stay tuned as we uncover the crazed night that years of bad blood finally boiled over between the Hells Angels and Mongols motorcycle clubs. Their all-out war brought biker gang violence into the national spotlight like never before. On that fateful night of April 7, 2002, years of bad blood finally boiled over in a chaotic clash that left the casino stained with blood. When the smoke cleared, multiple people were dead or hospitalized, and the true brutal nature of these gangs was shockingly exposed to the public. The vicious conflict signaled a turning point for law enforcement, who realized these brazen groups posed a massive threat to public safety that could no longer be tolerated. This is the story of how a long-simmering rivalry between the Mongols and Hells Angels erupted into all-out war one chaotic evening in Laughlin, with severe consequences for both gangs. The River Run Riot, as it came to be known, marked the beginning of an unprecedented crackdown on biker gang violence across America. The savage legacy of outlaw motorcycle clubs had finally collided with the glitzy neon extravagance of a casino town, and the outcome was unforgettable. To understand the hatred that exploded in Laughlin, we have to go back to the origins of the Mongols Angels rivalry in 1970s Southern California. The Mongols formed in 1969 as an upstart motorcycle club, made up largely of Hispanic veterans banned from joining the Hells Angels due to their whites-only membership policy. The Mongols quickly gained a foothold by aggressively recruiting members from Hispanic communities in LA. Their presence represented a direct challenge to the supremacy of the Hells Angels, who considered themselves the baddest biker gang in California and the whole country. More than just a racial conflict, there was also a generational clash between the groups. The Mongols were younger, more brazen, and willing to use violence to gain street cred. The Angels, meanwhile, tended to be older, wealthier, and more concerned with protecting their comfortable status. But they weren't about to let their fearsome reputation be threatened by these upstart newcomers. Tensions boiled over in 1977 when the Mongols provocatively wore California on their jackets, considered sacred territory by the Angels. In response, the Angels launched brutal attacks that kicked off decades of bloody warfare across the state. Their vendetta was about defending the myth of the Angels' complete dominion over California against all rivals. Throughout the 80s and 90s, the bitter enemies continued to violently clash anytime their paths crossed. The Mongols only grew more aggressively, absorbing local street gangs into their ranks and continuing to set up shop in Northern California cities like San Jose, Oakland, and San Francisco. Right in the heart of Hells Angels territory, the Angels struck back by assassinating Mongols leaders. The carnage went back and forth with numerous casualties on both sides. Police periodically tried to negotiate truces, but peace never held up for long. The generational differences only grew starker as the Angels got older, while the Mongols recruited even younger members eager to prove themselves. For authorities, it became an untamable hydra. Anytime one head was cut off, two more violent ones sprouted up in its place. This brings us to April 2002 and the River Run in Laughlin, Nevada. By this time, the Mongols outnumbered the Angels in Southern California by more than 5-1, with 39 chapters compared to just 5 for the Angels. But in Northern California, the Angels were still dominant. For years, the rivals had kept their distance at the River Run, but this time, each group arrived ready for confrontation after a series of provocative incidents. The trouble began when the Mongols descended on a booth displaying Angels bikes and memorabilia outside the Golden Nugget Hotel, harassing vendors and drawing police intervention. Already, the hostility was ramping up. Making matters worse, a group of Angels started defiantly drinking at the Mongols' home base of Harrah's Casino Hotel across town. The police urged both groups to remain peaceful and stay separated. But the Angels weren't backing down. Infuriated by the Mongols' challenge to their honor, around 10 p.m. a pack of 30 Angels armed with hammers, knives, and clubs marched into Harrah's looking for violence. In the casino, the Angels' Sergeant-at-Arms Raymond Folks was confronted by Mongols President Roger Pinney, who told his members they needed to defuse the situation. But it was too late. Violence was seconds away from exploding. Out of nowhere, folks viciously kicked a Mongol named Robert Dawkins, and a massive brawl erupted across the casino floor. What unfolded next was complete chaos. The Angels viciously swung hammers and other blunt objects they had premeditatedly brought along. In the madness, Penny was stabbed 4 times in the back before escaping out a side door. Another Angel, Calvin Schaefer, recklessly fired a handgun into groups of Mongols. Angels used chairs, tables, and any objects around as weapons. Security footage captured the Angels viciously kicking and stomping fallen Mongols. It was primal, horrific violence on full display. 21-year-old Mongol Anthony Barrera was stabbed to death amidst the whirlwind of violence. Barrera's last moments alive were captured on surveillance cameras. In one chilling scene, Barrera is shown stumbling away in retreat before being surrounded by Angels, stabbed by James Hannigan, and shot dead by Schaefer, a cold-blooded killing. Another Mongol, Richard Noland, was hospitalized after being shot multiple times at point-blank range by Schaefer. For 7 brutal minutes, the casino floor was plunged into bloody mayhem and sheer terror. On the casino floor, Mongols president Roger Penny confronted the Angels pack leader Raymond Folks. As the rivals exchanged words, an Angel suddenly kicked a Mongol named Robert Dawkins, and a full-scale melee broke out. The Angels viciously swung hammers and other blunt objects they had premeditatedly brought. In the madness, Penny was stabbed 4 times in the back before escaping out a side door. Some Mongols attempted to fight back against the onslaught. Benjamin Leyva stabbed an Angel, but was then shot 3 times by Schaefer, yet miraculously survived. The Angels had strategically used the casino environment to their advantage, overturning tables and slot machines to create barriers and attacking from concealed positions. For innocent bystanders caught in the melee, it was a nightmare scenario. People fled for exits or ducked for cover under tables. Casino security guards were powerless to stop the fighting and could only radio for backup. Extra police and SWAT team members had to rush to the scene to end the pandemonium. When the smoke finally cleared, the casino floor was left in shambles, with blood spattered everywhere. The shocking damage illustrated just how quickly and viciously violence had exploded, with little regard for the safety of others. The casino seizure showed how brazen the bikers could be in defending their gang pride, no matter the location or collateral human damage. In the chaotic aftermath, nearly every Mongol and Angel present was arrested, but few faced serious charges due to the biker code of silence on both sides. When the dust settled, 2 Angels and 1 Mongol were dead, while dozens more were hospitalized from stab wounds, blunt force trauma, or gunshots. 27-year-old Hells Angel Jeremy Bell died from a gunshot wound to the chest. Hells Angel Robert Tumulty, 50, was killed after being shot in the stomach amidst the melee. And 21-year-old Anthony Barrera of the Mongols was stabbed to death on the floor. Despite damning footage, prosecuting bikers proved challenging. It took over 5 years to convict just a handful who received light sentences, bringing little justice. But Laughlin resonated beyond the courtroom. The public violence forced introspection among gangs about endangering bystanders. And it exposed the frightening truth to authorities: these groups would kill anytime, anywhere, while operating outside the law's reach. Laughlin underscored the urgent threat posed by brazen biker wars in communities. The chaos and blatant disregard for bystanders made police realize the danger had reached a boiling point, requiring more aggressive action. The shocking violence of Laughlin set the wheels in motion for an unprecedented, nationwide crackdown on biker gangs, most famously the ATF's infiltration of the Angels on Operation Black Biscuit. For bystanders, the savage violence was an unforgettable glimpse into the lawless world of outlaw bikers. The next day, surveying the damage, it was clear the era of unchecked clashes between bitter rivals was ending. Laughlin demonstrated the brutal lengths they would go to defend their honor. The chaos of Laughlin pressed authorities to finally crack down on unrestrained biker gang violence. The public nature of the brutal clash sparked a pivotal turning point in law enforcement's response. How far would police go to disrupt the violent legacy of outlaw MCs? What new tactics emerged to reign in their activities? Laughlin would never forget the night these infamous clubs brought their war to the neon-lit casinos. A reckoning was underway between America's wild biker history and a new, aggressive police response. So, what do you think of this incident? Comment down your thoughts below. If you found this biker gang clash as riveting as we did, smash that like button and click subscribe to catch our next video investigating how authorities finally infiltrated these elusive clubs. Thanks for watching.